Welcome back, everyone. Episode 2 of Coaches Confidential, the podcast segment that makes you think, is that my coach? And is he or she talking about me? Because they really might be. Today's guest is none other than Agent. We won't call her Agent all day. We'll just say White Lightning. WL, how are you on this fine afternoon?
Well, I'm doing great. A good day out here where I am, which is a mystery
Now,
to all of the
wow,
listeners.
that was very witness protection approved right there from Miss Lightning herself. So I will give away that she is a lady. So that whittles it down to 51% of the world population. Or is she? All right, as always, we will jump straight in. We're not going to name names. This isn't a naming names. This isn't a calling people out, unless White Lightning here wants to call some people out. So if you hear your name shouted out, just know that you probably deserved it. But on this first question, we are not going to say anyone's name. I just want to leave this wide open, and I want you to describe the worst client you have ever had. The absolute bottom of the barrel. Who was it?
Oh man, I've been coaching for a long time, so I got a couple things that come to mind. But ever any? So I'm gonna say it's the client who never took ownership, right? So it was my fault that they didn't get results, even though they did. Data backed it up. It was my fault that they couldn't, rein in the alcohol on the weekend. It was always my fault about something. I really got old pretty fast. And ended up having to fire that client. So that was probably the worst one I've ever had. I would say the most frustrated I get with a client is when, along those lines, similar, but they say things like, I feel like I look great. And then the next day, I'm not getting any results. And I just want to rip my hair out a little bit because I'm like, you're saying two different things all the time. Why?
I feel like I could go to Quicksilver and buy you because you're a flip-flop right now. That's what I feel like. Yeah.
Yeah, it makes your head do a little spin. And then there are also the kinds of clients that, one day they want to lose weight, and then the next day they want to build muscle, and then the next day they want to, compete in a 5K, and then the next day they want to do a bodybuilding competition. And I'm like, I don't care what you do. Just pick. We got to focus on one thing. So yeah, flip-flop.
So to narrow it down, your common traits, your common threads that you notice in a bad client would be someone who doesn't take accountability, so no accountability, and someone who can't figure out what their goals actually are.
Yeah, and I don't mind if a client doesn't truly have a goal, because I think the goal is just being healthier is a very valid goal. But if you get mad about that you're not seeing the results you want to see because you don't have a specific goal, then we gotta talk. Then that's the come to Jesus talk.
I feel like with both of those, your accountability and someone who can't really figure out, they're just bouncing from one goal to the other. Those are definitely some traits that I've noticed in clients. They're definitely some self-sabotaging. I would even throw in another that's common to the person who flip-flops is they're always looking for external validation. They'll text you a picture or a video or a check-in, and they'll say, oh, coach, did you see my check-in, my video today? Did you see my picture? Did you check my check-in photos? Do I look any different than I did 3 days ago? That's another one that I notice in that crew as well. What's the mental jujitsu? What's the karate that you must do to subdue an individual who is showing these traits? Either self-sabotage, can't nail down their goals, looking for external validation. What's the process? What's the thought process for you of how you rewire an individual like that?
Yeah, I always it depends on, what they came in looking for, right? Like if this is a competitor who's got, maybe they have some competitions coming up, but like they haven't narrowed down, what their goal within those competitions is. That's one conversation, and that's a little bit different than like just the general population. I want to look better. I want to feel better. I want to, uh, yeah, optimize things. So I would say the mental jujitsu that goes through in more of, we'll call it the general population, is always bringing it back to the why. Why are you even doing this? Why does this even matter to you? You don't have to be healthy in America. You don't. You can go to the doctor. They can give you all the prescriptions you want, and that's cool. It's a lot easier than being in shape. It's a
It's
whole
so
lot
easy.
easier than being
It's
in shape.
so easy. You literally take pills and then you're fine and everything
Yeah,
is good. And then you look at the people that are like sweating and working hard for hours a day. You're like, what a moron. That
yeah,
person is no healthier than me. All I do is take my pills.
yeah,
That's big brain right there.
yeah.
What about the
And
people who have the wrong why? So let's say you're doing this motivational
uh,
interview with the individual and you're sitting them down and, let's say I don't want to pick on women here, but I'm going to because I see this a lot in my female clients. You sit down and you get a woman's why, and it's like, well, I'm not as skinny as my friends,
intense.
or I want to look better because my husband makes remarks all the time about my weight or about how I look. When that's a client's why, what's the path forward there? Because it's like, okay, well, go get new friends isn't an option. Go get it. I guess it kind of is. Go get a new husband isn't an option, but I guess it kind of is. What's the conversation that you have in a conversation like that, or in a situation like that, Whitey?
Well, white lightning over here. Um, we like we like to keep it real. No, so I get very honest with people. I like to be very transparent, very blunt, and just be like, that's not good enough. Like, it's great that you want to fit into this social circle or whatever, but do they make each other stand on the scale before they go out to brunch?
That's
No?
one I haven't seen yet. I haven't seen that stipulation yet. So, ladies, step it up. Bring the scale to
Yeah.
brunch.
I mean,
Stephanie
like, if
can't
you
come because
do,
she's 114 instead of 112 this week. Tell her to rein it in.
God, what a fatty. I mean, come on. 2 pounds? Oh, yeah. And the husband thing, ooh, that's a tricky one. That might be, I mean, I've legitimately recommended therapy to clients before because there are many times that, like, a coach can handle certain things, but there are certain things that are definitely outside of that coach's scope of practice. And having a spouse that has specific demands on your aesthetic so unhealthy for so many reasons, and there will probably be other things that are coming up that are just not things I can deal with. So I will definitely recommend that you seek a professional for that. It's one thing if you've noticed that your husband has made offhanded comments here or there and they've stuck with you. It's another thing if your husband is constantly reminding you that you don't look the way you look.
All right, White Lightning. I got another hypothetical for you that has probably never happened in the history of personal training, online coaching, whatever you want to call it. Let's say you're working with a client. His name is Ron. We're going to flip the roles here, and we're going to say Ron's wife is mean to him. And Ron's wife always says, you got to lose weight. You're fat. We go to these baseball games and all the other dads have these hot dad bods and you got that soft dad bod and I need a hard bod. I am a woman who loves a hard bod. So he comes to you and he says, listen, I got to work on my hard bod. I got to get this. And you say, that's not, we got to do it for your health. We got to do it for this. And he resonates with it. He says, okay. 6 months later, he's changed his life. He's lost weight. He's leaner. He's stronger. He's healthier. He's all of that. And he says, you know what, White Lightning? I am so appreciative of everything that you have done for me. I know I've been paying you this whole time, but what I'm prepared to do now is I'm actually going to leave my wife because I'm in love with you. And all of the help that you've given me has shown me how much you love me too. Is that a feeling that's mutual? Would that jump to the worst client you've ever had? Is that just an immediate leap to like, Ron, you are officially the worst?
I think Ron severely needs some therapy too. But
let's
yeah,
role play. Let's role play. I'm Ron. I say, yeah,
life.
I think that we should go to therapy together. I think that it would be good for our relationship, White Lightning, as we move forward. Me, post-divorce, you, newly married to me. I think that we should go to therapy together.
Ron, I have a hard boundary, and I don't date clients. So
does
really
Ron
sorry.
get a refund? Does Ron get a refund?
Ron does not get a refund. I worked hard over the last
refund.
6 months. Okay. Poor Ron.
If there's a worse client situation that you've ever seen, been a part of, we'd love to hear about it. Please DM us at gifted-HQ on Instagram. We would love to hear your worst client story if it beats the Ron and White Lightning love affair of 2024.
I do have a good one to go along with that. I forgot about this.
I would love to hear it.
It was in the first 4 months of me being a coach ever, and I was 80 years old. No, okay, that's a long time ago.
Many moons ago, probably like a year or two ago.
Many moons ago.
Not to give away too much information, but that would be 2 years ago for her.
And we'll just say that maybe I was working at a popular fitness chain by the name of La Fitness.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Esporta.
So, many moons ago, I had a client who would constantly ask me out. Constantly. And I was like, nope, I don't date clients. I don't date members. Blah, 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 blah. The worst part about it was when I told my bosses, they were like, I mean, you probably shouldn't go out with them because, yeah, that's going to keep the client around, right? And I'm like,
yeah.
So, what? We'll say that my employment there didn't last long.
That is very LA Fitness. That is very LA Fitness. I just want to say that I also was a trainer at LA Fitness one time. And I closed, this is rare for me because I didn't work the floor, but I closed 2 deals of people who bought personal. Did you see the balloons?
That was so tasty.
Jake, keep that in. I don't know how that happened, but I really, really like it.
What's it?
I love the balloons. So I was working there. I closed 2 deals near the end of my time. The GM for personal training got fired for selling cocaine behind the gym.
Nice.
Before I ever got paid my commissions. LA Fitness, I haven't forgotten. I haven't forgotten about the like $26 that you owe me. So send it. Send me the money.
Oh God, gotta love
I do think that the scope of this podcast, of this interview, what the hell is happening, Jake? I think, are you pushing buttons, White Lightning, or is that on my end?
I'm not doing anything.
Watch. This isn't that's not going to come across on the recording, and we're going to look like the 2 most schizo individuals. They're like, balloons. What are you talking about? Balloons. All right, getting to what I think is probably my favorite question every time we do this. What is the dumbest question a client has ever asked? And when people say there's no such thing as a dumb question, that's wrong, because there for sure are dumb questions. So let's hear it. The dumbest one you've ever received.
God, there's so many. There's so many. I would say, okay, so like the first one that comes to mind, I got this week. It was a nutrition question. And it was a client who I've worked with for a long time, right? Like 2+ years at this point. And they go, so I want to ask your opinion about something with nutrition. And I go, okay. And they go, so like I'm eating red meat only 2 times a month. Like, and every once in a while, like I go out to dinner and I want to eat more. Like, is that okay? And I said, when have I ever told you to do that? You only eat red meat 2 times a month. And they go, well, you haven't, but like that's what all the nutritionists say. And I said, what nutritionists? Who are you listening to? And they go, well, like everyone, like that's what everyone says we should do. And I said, well,
Everyone.
everyone hasn't read any research in the last 10 years because that bullshit was disproven. And I have those conversations all the time. So that's just an example of some of the dumbest questions I get. But like, I would say the dumbest questions I get are the ones that are so founded in Instagram or social media, like hype, that I'm just like, where's the critical thinking? Why do people think vegetables are bad for you? Why do people think like actual one ingredient foods are bad for you? Like, where did all this bullshit come from? You know?
Vegetables are bad for you
Yeah.
is one that I got the other day. By what metric? By what metric?
Oh, yeah. The
Every
fruit being
meta-analysis in
demonized.
existence says those who eat more vegetables live longer. So they're bad for you if you want to live longer. If you want to die young, there are people who want to die young. And in that case, vegetables will be bad for you. So maybe that's the case.
Totally. Yeah, maybe.
What
yeah,
about,
I mean, I guess
what
it
about
depends what
any
your goal
question?
is, right?
What about any question that starts with "What are your thoughts on?"
Uh,
and then a very broad topic? So it's like, "What are your thoughts on interval training?" Are you out
More
of your mind?
specifically,
Have you ever asked? Is this your first time asking a question? Because you didn't do very well.
I also really, really love when people are constantly asking me like, hey, and it's not really asking me, like they're more telling me I'm gonna do this diet. And then they expect me to go, woo, yeah, that one, do it. And sometimes I let them go just to see what happens. And that's like, that took me a long time as a coach to just like, as they say in Frozen,
Go.
let it go.
Go fly, baby bird. Go fly.
But eventually it always comes back because they go, I lost a lot of weight. And I'm like, great. You were consistent with something, right? And then they go, yeah. And I'm like, so what's your plan to stay consistent with that thing forever? And they go, wait, what? And I said, yeah.
Forever?
If you want to keep this off forever, you have to do it forever. And they go, oh, I didn't know that.
But it worked, so I'm done.
So yeah, I would say those are some of the hot topics of dumb conversations. And not necessarily dumb. It's just more like there is no quick fix to fitness. There is none. You can't hack it. You can't make it efficient. You can't like put in the least amount of effort to get the most results. You have to work hard. You have to eat the right food. It's not always fun. You do have to make sacrifices. And like, yeah, if you don't want to do that, then like you may have to reprioritize your goals and figure out what your goals actually are for what effort level you're willing to put in.
If there was a way to make it easy, wouldn't everyone be doing it? Wouldn't everyone in the world be doing it?
Yeah.
Even some of your new strategies that are coming out that are going to change the industry. All of this talk about Wegovy or whatever brand name you want to go by with that semaglutide. If it actually worked and it actually created long-lasting results, everyone would have already done it for the 6 months, 8 months, whatever was required, and then they would have stopped and they would have kept the weight off forever. And this would have already circulated to the 335 million, 40% of Americans. So the, 150 million Americans that are overweight or obese, whatever the
I think we're above 50.
Would have already taken it. I think over 50 is overweight and obese.
Yeah.
I think 38 or 39% is obese.
Yeah, we're creeping up there, though.
We're getting up there.
Good.
Yo, I did hear that we are no longer number one, though. Mexico passed us as the
Mexico.
most obese. Good shit, Mexico. Just know that we're taking your title back. We as
I mean, like,
Americans, we love being number one. We're coming
true.
back for you.
To be fair, though, if I lived in Mexico, I'd love this taco and margarita.
Yeah. I think I would
Get it?
become, it's because I know you. I know the face behind the blur. I know who the true white lightning is. I don't think, and I tell this to Jimmy all the time, I don't think you have it in you to be obese.
Sure.
Like you, her, like people like Katie, people like myself, people like really like anyone on the team. Like I don't think that we have it in us to become obese. I just think
That's
the
true.
things
I
that we
don't
would have
know
to
that.
do.
Yeah, gluttony is not my deadly sin.
No, it's not. It's not. I'm not
No,
much of an emotional eater. I'm more of an emotional, like, not eater. When I get busy, I don't stress eat. I stress starve myself. I do
same.
understand the etiology of how someone becomes obese, and a lot of individuals, I do, I do resonate with their story, and I empathize with them. I just don't think I have it in me. I don't think that I don't enjoy food that much.
See, I thoroughly enjoy food, but I also have a not a weird, but like I am such a moderate individual where everything I do is in moderation. I can't name one
You ever
thing that I
smoked
like
meth?
in excess.
Have you ever smoked meth?
have not, have not.
See, not everything. You haven't tried everything. There might be something out there that takes you over the edge.
To be fair, it might be
Speaking
not.
of white lightning, that might actually be your crutch right there.
I don't know
All
how
right,
we
we have
got here,
gone
but it's fun.
so far off topic. I only have one more extremely off topic question. Can you eat an entire pint of Ben and Jerry's ice cream?
In one city?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I probably could make that work.
I don't know what happened to me. I can't do it anymore. I used to be able to just destroy it. Now I can't. I don't know. It's like
I
age or
think
something.
I think I can make it work. I think
I think I can eat more calories in Raisin Bran than I can in Ben and Jerry's. And
you
if that's
know,
not a
yeah, I'm fueled by negative enforcement. So like if
okay
someone tells me that I can't
that you
do
can't.
something, oh, you better watch me. I'm gonna do it.
Okay, I'm not
Um
telling you to do that because I know a certain man in your life that will message me and be like, Ryan, what did you tell White Lightning to do? Like,
uh
how about you mind your
that
business?
that man might actually be pretty happy about that. 'Cause
He might join you.
that that person has more of a sweet tooth than I do and gets mad at me for not having a sweet
What's your
tooth.
flavor of choice?
Ooh, so I like the one with the brownie chunks in it.
Oh
I
yeah,
forget what that one is. Like
half
chocolate
baked.
brownie something something
Half baked has
something.
brownies in it, but it also has the cookie dough. I know what you're
Yeah,
talking about. It's brownie, chocolate, something
sure,
over.
sure.
All right. Hold on. We're bringing it in. Get your fishing pole out because we're reeling it in. All right, reeling it in. You answered what was the dumbest question you ever asked, but what is the dumb question that you get asked the most? And then take a
Good.
chance to just answer it for the people. Once and for all, you're never allowed to ask this question again because WL is going to handle it right here and right now for you.
What's the perfect workout routine for weight loss?
Okay. What
The
is it? Because
perfect
I need to know.
workout
I
routine.
got some weight to lose.
Move more. Wild. I know. I know.
Move more,
Crazy.
eat
It's
less.
that's it. That's it. You just gotta
Okay.
move more. If you just want to work out, you don't want to change your eating habits at all, you gotta offset that equation somehow. So we gotta move more. Whether it's you're parking further away from the office, so every day you get an extra 500 steps to walk to your car, whether it's you're taking the stairs in the office instead of the elevator every single day, whether it's you're getting into the gym 4 days a week instead of 3 days a week, it doesn't matter. You just have to move more. There is no perfect routine. There is no perfect zone to be in for your cardio training. There is no perfect program to follow for lifting. You just have to move more. That's it.
The other day at the gym, you'll get a kick out of this. I was informing my colleagues there of the fact that VO2 is modality specific, and getting a VO2 test done on a treadmill and then extrapolating and using that data on rowing, skier,
Oh no.
biking, or Metcon conditioning doesn't work. So when you say the right zone, I know you're taking a shot at the zone 2 boys out there.
Yeah.
And the popularity of that.
Yeah. So fun fact, if anyone was really wondering, when you do a VO2 max test on a treadmill, if you do want to estimate for other modalities, you minus 10 for cycling activities or like cycling activities, and you minus 20 for swimming like activities. So anything that's seated is like cycling, anything that's laying down is like swimming. And that's how you can kind of use that data well. But other than that, yeah, you should probably make it modality if you really want to get some good, accurate.
Just to throw the people off your trail, because hearing that, you, the listener, might think, oh, I know who this is. I know who White Lightning is. I think that it's very impressive that as a bodybuilding coach, you know all this stuff. I think that's very, very impressive.
Yeah,
not a lot of women's
man.
bodybuilders care about their VO2. So White Lightning is truly a well-versed and a coach that is an academic, a scholar, if you will.
It's true. I didn't get that degree for nothing. We'll put it that way.
Have you seen, you might not, because I bet your algorithm doesn't deliver this stuff to you, but have you seen it's like a graphic, and it's always like, build the worst NFL quarterback, and it's like Tom Brady's speed and, so-and-so's ability to review film. Have you seen graphics that are like that before?
I haven't seen NFL specific, but.
Okay, cool. But you know the gist.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Follow along here, if you can. Use that same model to build out the worst client. So on the last episode, Agent Bean said, the worst client has Bill Clinton's honesty, Tiger Woods' fidelity, and then there was one other one that I forget, but it was really funny.
Okay. Had Bill Clinton's honesty. That's a good one. Good job, Agent Bean. Okay, well, now you got me on the president track. So, Donald Trump's integrity. Let's see. I would say, Kim Kardashian aesthetic expectation. We're gonna go there.
Good. I like that. One more.
How fast there steps that is. Okay. This is Bert. Who was you remember that guy that was on my 90 Day Fiance? That one.
I have never seen 90 Day Fiance. I'm more of a 600-pound life guy.
Okay, well, same principle. Has one of their deadly sins, aka gluttony.
All right, Jake. Now in post, I need you to create, using ChatGPT, an amalgamation of those three characters. I need you to create an amalgamation of McDonald Trump, Kimmy K, and a gluttonous person from 90 Day. Is it the no neck guy?
Yeah, that guy.
Okay. Now I love it. I
Yeah.
love it. Now I really like it. Okay, Jake, make it happen. Put it right there and give the people who are lucky enough to be watching on YouTube 10 seconds to just look over that horror of a creature.
God.
All right, as we come up on the end of our time here, we don't want to get down. We don't want to get depressed. We don't want to make you guys think that we only work with terrible clients. We at Gifted and at other coaching companies, just coaches who are out on their own, doing their own thing. We all love our clients. We all really do. At the end of the day, these are our people. This is our community. We don't want to talk down on them. We just think that there's some comedic value and some of the funny stuff that you do and the funny stuff about how we handle it. So let's finish on a positive note. Can't all be negative. Let's hit something nice and uplifting. A recent story from a client. Make the listeners happy. Give them a chuckle to carry with them for the rest of their day. Give them something positive.
No, I think one thing that like makes me really happy as a coach is when clients have questions, right? Like they're curious about the process. They're interested in why things are happening the way they're happening, what's going to be next. Like they're excited to work towards a goal. And I'm very lucky to have a lot of clients like that. So specifically, I have some clients training for some big competitions coming up. I have some clients that are just looking to be like the healthiest, best versions of themselves. Either way, it's so rewarding when I see you guys exceed your expectations and exceed my expectations of you. So I would say, yeah, that's the most fun part about my job and why I have continued to do it.
And if that doesn't make you smash the like button to tickle the algorithm, get this out to as many people as possible, I don't know what will. I got one that'll make you laugh. I don't care if it makes everyone else laugh. I only care about making you laugh. You ready for this one?
Ready.
So I know that your clients, because I know who you work with, are probably advocates for supplementing with beetroot powder. Would you say that that's correct?
I have a couple that might resemble that remark.
Some nitrate lovers, if you will.
Yeah.
Some vasodilation daddies, if I can take it that far.
So you can definitely take it that far.
I had a client who 3 grams of beetroot, he thought that a tablespoon was a gram.
Whoa.
So a tablespoon is 15 grams.
Yes, sir.
So he took 45 grams of beetroot powder. If you're not familiar with the color of beetroot powder, it's quite red. It turns everything going into you red and out of you red.
Coming out.
So when that individual visited the toilet, the next time he had to take a number 2, a doo-doo, if you will, there was quite a bit of red leaving his bottom. He immediately panicked, rushed to the ER and said, I am pooping a lot of blood. They did a full examination on him, a full, thorough, internal examination of him to let him know that he had taken too much beetroot powder.
Oh my God. Thousands of dollars later.
Thousands of dollars later, you didn't know the difference between a gram and a tablespoon, and maybe you got violated because of it.
That poor man.
All right. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Hope you guys enjoyed your time with White Lightning. WL, any words that you want to leave the people with before I cut this thing off, send it into the sunrise?
I think
well, that's going to wrap us up. White Lightning, apparently, her witness protection plan ran out. She is out for the day. No parting words. You're stuck with me. I love you. We'll see you on the next one. If you think you know who that is, if you think you know who White Lightning is, keep it to your damn self. See you on the next episode. Toodaloo.